Hey everybody, CBQ here from Greenzie, back with another edition of How It Works, where we explain how our product works, diving in deeper detail to help you understand how to get the most out of autonomous mowing. Now today we're going to be talking about straight lines or striping. Now the reason it's important is that mowing straight lines doesn't just look good, it's often the most efficient way to cover a lawn and maintain the health of the lawn by alternating those stripes in between mowing. Now consider for a moment how humans might drive in a straight line. You pick a point in the distance and you adjust the steering wheel left or right to maintain that line. If you start veering off to the right, you course correct back to the left and vice versa. Now, zero-turn mowers like the one behind me aren't like cars in that they aren't Ackerman steering vehicles with a front and back wheels on a differential axis. In fact, zero turns are usually rear-wheel drive with caster wheels in the front. So to go straight on a zero-turn mower, you actually just want both left and right wheels to be the same speed. Now there are bumps and dips and some wheels slip and the tires might not be inflated. So as a human driver, you account for these by adjusting both left and right equally or differently to maintain that line. Most of the time, you're probably looking straight down at the last stripe that you've mowed or off in the distance if you're good and just overlapping a tiny little bit. Under Greenzie's autonomous mowing, we have full software control of left and right wheel controller. And we know how fast these wheels are spinning. We also know the exact heading, which is direction the mower is going, and the exact location down a centimeter level of the base footprint. So with all that data and control, how do we go straight? Now, it's a hard problem. Imagine the case that you're not on the straight line path. You've been bumped off from a big gopher hole or something, for example. Now it's time to get back onto the line. Let's exaggerate the problem a little bit to really show the example and assume you're way off the line, okay? Not just a little bit. One option is to veer hard to get back on that line. But maybe you overshoot, and now you have to come back. Now this is what we call oscillation. Feedback controllers were created as a way for a system to get back on that line, and an example of feedback controller is a PID, or proportional integral derivative controller. Now tuning a feedback controller is an art and a science. If you have tuned it to be too aggressive, then the system will swing back and forth. We call those oscillations. Not having it responsive enough, and it'll just never actually hit its target and get back on that line. You'll always be off. Now, Greenzie autonomous mowing uses PIDs at the low level on our wheel speed, velocity, to set and achieve desired speeds. At a high level, though, if you view the mower on a top-down, on the path, we utilize a different controller for adhering to that line. And that's called a model predictive controller, or MPC. For an MPC, you create a mathematical model of the system, often through a technique called system identification. Now, with this mathematical model, you can then actually predict future behavior of the system, and you can control corrective actions. Now, software runs our control loop at a very high speed. So even when the mower is moving quickly, our low-level controllers and high-level controllers work in conjunction to keep the mower moving straight. And if it's off, get back on that line. Now, as one of our current customers says, the mower mows straight stripes, and heck, it's straighter now than quite a few of our human operators. However, it's a constant bit of tuning and system identification to get this better and better. This is why we employ robotics controls engineers, validation test engineers, who go to big fields and bumpy areas, who constantly up and tune across our fleet, and when our mower boots up, it updates with the latest settings. Okay, that wraps us up. As always, let us know in the comments what you would like to see about us explaining anything about how our product works. Thanks for tuning in.